So today we are seeing what is called the backend developer roadmap. That is what we are going to be seeing today to see how we can work with it. Because we first of all in the previous class we saw how to become the roadmap to become a front end developer. So we are going to also be seeing that of the backend developer to understand all the necessary skills that we need to study in order to become a backend developer. So we are going to be understanding that. So before diving to understand what is a back-end developer or development, the first thing to understand is that web development is divided into two parts. We have the front-end development and we have the back-end development. And we also have the full stack development. And the full stack development is made up of, it comprises of what? The combination of the front-end development and the back-end development. So in our previous class, the previous video we had was the front-end development. We saw the roadmap and all the skills that you need to become a front-end developer. So today we are going to also be working with the back-end development. All the skills you need to be able to acquire to become a back-end developer. That is what we are going to be doing today. So, and now we are going to understand all the skills we need to become a back-end developer. Why is it important to become a back-end developer and the timeline for learning each of the particular skills that we are going to be seeing today. So the first thing we need to understand is what is it or who then is a back-end developer. So when you understand your role, you understand the role that is there, you better understand the skills to study to become to be able to emphasize, to be able to implement that particular role. So a back-end developer is responsible for the server side of web applications and system. So back-end developers ensure that the system and the databases work seamlessly to support the front-end operations. They build and manage the system that makes up everything to run smoothly behind the scenes, like what? Like handling data, server communication, and security. While the users interact with the front end, when you enter a particular website or particular page, you're interacting with the front end. That is the GUI, the graphical user interface. You don't know what is happening in the background. The back end developers are responsible for what is happening in the background because without the background, you cannot see what the beauty you're seeing in that site. The beauty you see is to interact, to enter that site to interact, or enter any e-commerce website to do your shopping, everything. You're just interacting with the GUI. But the work is done in the background that you don't see. So the of the app or website they see, that is the only part they're interacting with. But the back end is the foundation. Means that without the foundation, it's just like you building a house. Without the foundation, the house is not standing, is not solid. So it's this foundation that ensures that everything works properly and efficiently. In simple terms, the end developers build and maintain the part of the website or applications that users don't see, but which makes everything works behind the scenes, which is very beautiful. That is what we love, want to see. So we're going to be seeing 5 essential skills that you need to become a back-end developer for us to understand. And the first step we are going to be seeing is which is the programming language you are going to choose to study in order for you to become a back-end developer. Which programming language should you choose? We have Python, we have Java, we have Go, we have JavaScript, we have Ruby, we have C Sharp, and so much. There are various of them that we can name. So now, which one should you go? You want to start with? Should you learn everything? No, down, guys. Calm down. And you haven't liked this video. What are you waiting for? Click the like button and be ready to watch to the end. Because when you watch to the end, it's very, very exciting. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Let's switch. Now, there are programming languages you can learn. We have Python. Like, for example, we have Python, we have Java, we have Go, we have JavaScript, we have Ruby, we have C Sharp. Hey, guys, wait, let's try to break. Because somebody might ask me, so what are you trying to tell me that for me to become a back-end developer, I need to study all these languages? No, 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 no. No, you don't need to study all of them. You just need to choose one of them because different application and different programs, different projects, they work on different languages. So, but you need to choose one, the one that is common in all, that is most popular, that is most helpful and most simple to understand. You need to choose that to be able to master well. Because just knowing the languages does not help you, but own it, own one to be able to use that one to build application, cool applications, assemble your codes and everything, then that is beautiful. Therefore means that you're a master in the game. You get it? So now, for example, we have Python. Let's take one of the programming languages, Python. Python is the easiest to learn. You get it? I always recommend Python programming languages to anybody that wants to start programming because it is easy to learn and then it has a simple readable syntax. It is great for beginners to be able to understand, because when you understand it is going to help you to better understand other things in programming also. It is very, very easy. And also, for example, if you're done with Python, then I can tell you the second language I can tell you to go for. I'll tell you to go to Java. But Java is a solid language. Or to, if you've studied computer science or computer application or any engineering course in the university degree, you would have learned about Java. Java would have been one of your course. That is it. So, taught to computer science and software engineering students. So it's a good thing to know about it, which is Java. Now, with these programming languages I'm saying, you just need to do what? You just need to choose one of it, and of which we know Python. Python is the simplest and the easiest to learn and to understand better. I will advise you go with it, and then you have to give it time because you have to give yourself some time, guys. Give yourself dedicate like 2 months to be able to learn a language. Means that you can be spending about 3 to 4 hours or 2, 3, 4 hours a day to be able to practice, learn and practice. Then you're good to go. Within 2 months, you'll be done learning everything and you're done. So mean that you'll be done with that programming language, which is a beautiful thing for you to do. So the next thing we are going to be seeing, that is the second part, it is a version control system. This is a part where every developer, it is a must sign step for you. You must know what is a version control system, how to use them and work with them, because 80% of the time you're going to be working with them. Okay, so if you look there, the first thing we're having there is Git. Git is not a programming language. It is not a programming language. It is just a tool that we are going to use to track changes and collaborate when we are working on the projects. Now, for us to be able to understand, which is a must for us to know, we talk about Git and GitHub. GitHub is just a platform that hosts the Git repositories. You get it? It is where we say host the Git repositories means that what the remote repositories, we host the repositories there in the GitHub. So it is a must for you to be able to understand what is a Git and what is a GitHub to know. And for you to be able to learn the both of them, the Git or the GitHub, it can take between 1 to 2 weeks of practice for each for you to learn it. And if you don't know how to use, or maybe you don't know what is Git, you don't know what is GitHub, you don't know how to maybe use to be able to put your files or your projects in your GitHub account as a remote repository to be able to host the Git repositories. You look inside the same channel, you're going to see how to delete the repository, how to upload your files from your projects from your machine, wherever it is, to your repository, so you can be able to collaborate. Because when you're working on projects, you're not the only person working on that project. Other colleagues are working on there, and you push the codes, in your Git repository, so you can be able to collaborate with the other developers that are working there, that are working. So people can be able to assemble all the codes together and then you integrate it and then you can now build it. Okay. So that is it. So now the next thing we are going to be seeing, that we are going to be understanding, is data structure and algorithm. The part where most people always tend to overlook, especially those who are the taught this in programmers. Like they just go online, just self-taught themselves. They always avoid all these things. They always come out from it, of which is not a really good idea. It is good to go into it. You can still study it even if you're still doing your self-taught, you want to teach yourself on your own. It's not a problem. Why am I saying this? Because this is a subject that has been taught. If you have studied in the university, you've done like some of us that studied, if you have done computer application or computer science or any related software engineering course, you know that data structure and algorithm is one of our modules that we study. So you can spend between 1 to 2 months to be able to study them, and then you can do what you can teach. You can because it's going to do what it teaches you programming and problem solving. That is one thing that it does. It teaches you programming and problem solving for you to be able to understand better. Okay, so you can spend that time to go to see to understand it because it gives you the logic to think and how this algorithm are being formed, how the structure, everything is being. That's how it makes you how to see how you can approachable for a particular thing, how you can solve that problem. You want to build a particular project, how can you go around it to be able to solve the problem to see how you can get the structure, everything intact. Then this is going to help you. So try to see if you can spend 1 or 2 months in studying this, and it's going to be very, very helpful for you. Then we have the next thing, which is the design patterns. These design patterns, the proven solutions to common design problems, which is something that also, you know, most of the self-taught developers they always avoid this. They don't go through it, but it is something that is good to just try to do it. Okay, when you try to do it, you see that it like helps you to understand better. So there are 32 classic design patterns that are there. These are them here listed here. You can see there are up to 23 of them, various design patterns. So for you to be able to understand how these things are, to understand, because the understanding of it is going to help you to become a better developer also in how you're doing your things, designing the code, the patterns, you're taking everything, how to build to solve that particular problem. So there are 23 classic design that we've just seen. It helps you to understand the object-oriented design principle and web framework. So you see how beautiful it is, right? These things are going to help you guys. Don't just ignore. Try to understand. If you have studied, if you have done, if you're somebody that has never been in any of this computer science degree, computer application, or any software engineering degree, then you might not understand this, but you can just go through and solve it. If you have been there, you understand things like this. So it's not a problem, okay? But it's good to know. So the design patterns they can take, you can be able to learn it in about 2 months. If you give yourself time, you can be able to learn the patterns in about 2 months and get what you want to get from them and you go. So the next thing we are going to be seeing is the database, which is very, very important. So guys, if you have been watching up to this time and you haven't liked this video, try to keep a like. If you look below here, you will see I've said like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. For all those who have been here with us from day one, thank you guys so much because you guys have been you are so perfect. Appreciate all the support, all the help you guys have been doing. Keep liking the videos, keep sharing. Those who have subscribed, subscribe. And for those of you who have been here, you haven't subscribed, or if you're stumbling on this channel for the very first time, why don't just join the community, guys? It's community, we learn a lot of things. So just join by what? By clicking the subscribe button. If you look down below, you see the subscribe button. Click on that subscribe button, and when you click, there's going to be a bell icon. Click that bell icon and take all so that you will get notified whenever we upload new videos. And also, don't forget to click the like button, guys. Comment in the comment section to tell me about your experience. If it is helpful to you, and tell maybe something also that you want us to go about to be able to teach. I'll be very grateful with that. So, guys, don't forget, because once you click the like button, it's going to help the algorithm to boost, to push this channel to other places so that others can be able to learn also for free. Okay. So the next thing we are having is the databases. So we have two types of databases. We have the relational database and a non-relational database, which is a NoSQL database, isn't it? These are the two types of databases we have. So now the first one is a relational database. So in the relational database, is a type of database that the data is stored in tables with rows and columns. You get it? And it is best for applications that require complex queries and transactions. Example include the banking system, e-commerce applications. So these applications that require complex reporting. So relational database is very, very good for them. Okay, guys. So let's keep going. So for some examples of this relational database, we have MySQL, or you say MySQL, we have SQL Server, we have PostgreSQL, we have Oracle database. I guess most of you must have heard about these databases to understand. Does it mean that you have to study all the databases? No, 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 no. Chill, pipe down a little, guys. Let's try to understand ourselves, right? You don't need to study all the databases to understand, but you just need to choose the one that you know it is very, very good. And once when you're choosing the one you want to use, you have to face. I'm going to before even giving you my own opinion to tell you this one is the most popular. It is widely used in all in the industry. The companies they are using this to build projects. But you also is trying to do your research. You get me? Whenever I'm giving you, I'm telling you this is popular. Try to also check and see. Oh, it's popular. Is used. Let me try to check. Now check by going online to view even the various market, the job market to see what kind of database there for the particular projects they are taking. If you're having skill in what type of database for you to be able to get that job, try to check it. Okay, so these are going toward the database are going to be able to what is the purpose? The main purpose is to retrieve or store the data using the SQL, right? We want to work with it. And so this SQL, as I said, for me, I'm going as I was saying, SQL is just simply means what? Structure query language. That is the main this thing of SQL is a database. You get it? It's just structure query language as a relational database also. You see, it is just like what? It is just simple language that looks like plain English. This is just a sample that I'm giving here, how it is, how we just write it and we're able to work. These are the various things to write inside the various queries how we want to, for different purposes that we want to work inside the database, which is very, very beautiful and it's very, very important. So this MySQL database, the PostgreSQL, the SQL server, well, some people call it SQL, some call it SQL is the same thing, guys. There are different projects and teams that use different database engine. It's not everybody that is going to use some projects. That is why it is good when you've learned one, you've mastered it. And one thing you need to understand is that they all interrelate. They look, even the way you're running the queries, they look almost the same. It's just that the platform is different and some additional things might be there, but they're almost the same. And they are doing the same thing because it's a database engine, they are working with the same purpose. So depending on the particular project or the team that you're working where you find yourself, they might use different databases. That is what they might be using. And now the one I'm requesting you to go for it as a beginner, or even as you learn, even as you go further to own it, to understand everything, is the MySQL database or MySQL database. The most popular database engine is a MySQL. That is the most popular database engine. That anywhere you go, most applications are built and most projects and even companies in the market, it is very, very popular to go with it. And then after we see even the SQL, they'll have the Oracle also. You get it? So guys, try to study it, but once you know one, it is very easy to know even the others. But if you own one, one is enough for you. Okay. But if you want to know more, go for it. So I said, for you not to be able to, how long should you be able to study this? You can take at least 1 month. 1 month is enough for you to learn any of this. To learn either the MySQL or the SQL or the Oracle or the PostgreSQL. You can be able to, if you use 1 month and you dedicate your time, you put yourself together, you can be able to learn this and learn it properly. You get it? So now let's see now on the next part of the database, the next side of the database, which is the other type, which is a non-relational, because we have seen the relational database. Now this is a non-relational database that we're going to see. So data is stored without a predefined table structure. That is why it is non-relational. So best for applications that require flexible data model for real-time analytics. So example of such, we have the MongoDB. I'm sure you've heard about this MongoDB because it's very popular also. The CouchDB. And then we have what we have the Cassandra. These are the examples of this non-relational database. And with the MongoDB, it is been the MongoDB that being the most popular database, non-relational database, which can learn in about a month. You can give yourself a month. You're going to learn everything to understand about this MongoDB, which is very, very beautiful. Okay, guys. So if you're still you have reached this place, clap for yourself. And remember to watch till the end, guys. Because some of you have the habit of just clicking. Watch to the end as well. You gain the whole knowledge to build something for yourself. This is a guide to help you if this was what you wanted to do. So this roadmap is going to help you, to guide you, to lead you to be able to fulfill that dream of yours. Okay. That is what I'm doing. I'm here to help you guys. And if you haven't watched the video of becoming a front end developer, what are you waiting for? Just look at the end of this particular class. I'm going to keep editing that video. That video is going to be there to become a front end developer. At the end screen, you're going to find it, or inside the same channel. If you look, you're going to find that particular video to how to become the roadmap to become a front end developer. Okay, guys. So now the next thing you're going to be seeing is the web framework. That's the next skill you have to do. So it depends on your programming language. For you to be able to choose the framework you want to use for your back end, the framework, you need to know the programming language. What programming language that you have chosen, you have taken, that is going to help you now to know which framework to choose. Now, if you went for Python, then you know you're going for Django. If you went for Java, you're going for Springboard. If you went for JavaScript, you're going for Express.js. If you went for C Sharp, you're going for ASP.NET Core. If you went for Ruby, you're going for Ruby on Rails. And then if it is Go, you're going for Jeans. So depending on the particular language you've chosen, that is where you're going to know the framework you're going to use. So these frameworks, one thing you don't need to worry about them is that the frameworks all do the same thing. There is nothing that is different that each of them are going to do. No, they all do the same thing. That is what this framework do. They do the same thing. So these frameworks provide us with tools. It provides us with tools that are used for building backends, routing, request and response handling, database interaction, and security. So this is what this framework do. This framework it has these tools that are helpful to us. And we can build and publish application interfaces. In other words, what are we talking about? We're talking about the APIs, which is application programming interfaces that we can be able to build using these tools for us to go through. So these APIs, they allow the communication between the back end and the back end and the front end. So therefore allowing the data for it to be sent to and fro from the back end to the front end. That is what these APIs do. That's the job of the API. So that is just it. So now, if you have any solid background about the programming language, you can be able to do what you can learn any of this framework in about 2 months. Because we know Django is for Python, right? This is what Java, Springboard to Java, this JavaScript, and then we go for this in Go, Ruby, and then for Go, we know all the various frameworks to be able to learn. So you can be able to learn any of them for about 2 months. You're going to be able to know everything about a particular framework, which is beautiful. Guys, we've come to the end of the class today. I hope this was really helpful to you. Thank you so much for being there. To my returning subscribers, thank you. And for the new subscribers that are subscribing today, thank you guys so much. On this end screen, you're going to see now, like this, you see the end screen. You're going to see, for those of you who wants to start their journey to become a back-end developer with a programming language to start with, you're going to see a playlist on the screen that is Python full course for beginners, for you to start learning Python. Everything you need to know about Python is in that playlist. You click there and start learning. And start learning as soon as possible. And then if you want to become if you want to learn Python you already know Python, you want to be able to build yourself with Python projects. Once you click in there, inside this particular, you can see this thing also for Python projects. You can able to learn. And also there is a video here that is for the front end developer. So if in case maybe you want to check out that of the front end developer, the roadmap, then guys, you're feel free to click that video that is going to be on your screen. As you're seeing, I'm talking to you, the video is on your screen. So I'm going to click it and then you can go to watch to become a front end developer. So thank you guys so much. Remember to keep a like and see you in the next class where we are going to start hitting off to understand everything we need to know. Thank you. Bye bye.